Yeah.
Our next speaker is Jeff Landau, the experience of a lifetime. The experience of a lifetime, Jeff Landau.
Whoa! Did you see that? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. That was a close call. See, I was on a bike ride. I was about mile 30. This bike ride, my mind started to drift a little bit. I had my head down. If this is the part of the story that you don't want to say when you're riding a bike, that you had your head down, I looked up. I was going about 25 miles an hour right at that tree. And the road had a hard turn left. Then another tree. What I didn't know is that on the other side of this guardrail between the two trees, there was a concrete wash about 20 feet below street level. And if I go over that guardrail, that story's not going to end too well. I don't think it's going to end too well if I hit either of those trees either. Well, I grabbed that handlebar, and for a glimmer of hope, I was holding and squeezing that handlebar and turning left. I was about to get out of that turn when my thigh hit that guardrail and I flipped over right at the base of that second tree. And I landed on a bed of soft dirt and a pillow of leaves. Then I tumbled and flailed down that wash. I think I hit every sharp rock that I could find. My leg was scraped up, my thigh was bruised. And I sat there, had to take inventory. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Probably didn't break anything. I'm not paralyzed, and it looks like I lived. Not looking forward to telling my wife about this, but I lived. This is the kind of life experience, near death. Kind of take that step back, and you think. You ask yourself questions, make changes. Some people create a bucket list. Well, the good news for you is you don't need to go through that kind of a life experience where you almost die. Because this morning, I'm going to share with you my very simple 20-step process that you can... No, it's just a one-step process. One-step process. Share with you this one-step process so you can avoid having to go through that life-threatening accident, but still walk away with the changes that you want to make. And I can boil it down to 6 words for you. 6 words. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
Somebody? Yeah, thank you. Okay, there's a couple people. 6 words. Change your story. Change your life. I mean, change your story. Some of you may be thinking, what do you mean change your story? Isn't it just reality? Well, I'd say to you, what is reality? How many of you thought we were going to be coming here and thinking about reality? I have 2 examples for you. The first, in the early 1900s, there were 2 shoe companies. They sent a couple salesmen over to Africa because they wanted to see if they can expand their sales there. Each of them send their 2 best salespeople. The first person wires back to the company. The situation is hopeless. They don't wear shoes. And the second person wires back to their company. Glorious business opportunity! They have no shoes! What's the reality? The reality is that they weren't wearing shoes, but different stories. Each company got a different story. Change your story. Change your life. What about a story that I tell myself a lot of stories. I've made a couple changes, and they've been profound for me. I'll share one with you right now. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. I am a real estate agent. And on a daily basis, I like to meet people. I knock on their door at home. And I told myself a story. I'm bothering you. I'm bothering you. I'm bothering you. Now, if I hired a motivational coach, you wouldn't say, that's a great story to tell yourself. What kind of story is that? I changed my story. The people are excited when I show up at their door. They want to do business with me today. It's not always true, but it makes for a better experience when I'm interacting with somebody. And I keep in mind, I want to transform people's lives through real estate. A little bit different story. I bother people, I transform their lives. Does this make you think about any stories that you tell yourself? I don't like the way my body looks. I should be at a different point in my career. I should have more money. I can't remember people's names. Story, 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 story. How we look at these appearances in our life affects, and the meaning that we put on these appearances affects our experience in life. And after all, these appearances, what you tell yourself, how you look, whether you should have more money, these appearances are all stories. And you can change your story today, right now after this meeting. Because when you change your story, you change your life. Mr. Toastmaster.